Peace. Um, the reading make make it known that it is clear, it is detailed, and need no other information to explain or to explain what is being said in the proofs. Now, over and over again, God repeatedly talks about how it's clear, right? The message is clear. And so we will see if we need these other literature to understand the reading, or in that fact, the people who Muhammad was given the reading to, that they need these extra information, this extra literature, or these hadith or these sunnahs or whatever, to help them understand the ayats. 5 and ayat 589. It talks about oath and breaking up and the atonement for them. And then God says, like that, God make clear its proof for you. Perhaps you might be grateful. Right? Perhaps you might be grateful. So, God is telling the people at that time period that God has made the proof clear to them. Right? Now, in ayat in proof 655, and like that, we detail the proofs and to make clear the way of the criminals. Right? So God is telling us that these ayats is detailed so that way the way of the criminals will be known, and the ways of those who are not criminals will be known. $697. God is talking about how the stars are there to guide us. You know what I mean? Then God says, we detail the proofs for a people who know, a qawm, for a people who know. Now, qawm is the people who share the same ethnic traits, right? Now, in 698, ayah 698, God is talking about our creation, and then God says, we detail the proofs for a people who understands, for a qawm who understands, right? So God says, we detail the proof for people who understands. You see, this stuff is detailed for them, so and they understand it. In ayah 126, God talks about the upholding path, the consistent path, right? Then God says, we detail the proof for a people, a people who take heed. For a people who take heed, right? Ayat 732. God is talking about forbidden what God made lawful, like gold and silk and stuff like that. Then God says, like that, we detail the proofs for a people who know, for a people who know. Ayat 174. God is talking about how God had made every soul testify that God is our God. Then God says, and like that, we detail the proofs, and perhaps they might return. It's already detailed. It's already clear. There's nothing to make it clear. These people already know what is being said to them. Now, however many years later, I might not know everything that's being. I might not know the details of everything, but they know the details of everything. I'm just getting a little bit of history that is provided in the reading. Okay. And Ayat 9:11, God is talking about how if the mushriks, if the mushrik uphold the law of the land, then God says, and we detail the proofs for a people who know. Ayat 10:5. God's talking about how it made the sun and the moon for timing. Then says, it details the proofs for a people who know. Then in 10:24, God's talking about making a comparison with the life of this world, an analogy. Then God says, like that, we detail the proofs for a people who reflect. Okie. And then Ayat 13:2, God is talking about certain things that God did. Then God says it details the proofs. Perhaps you be certain regarding the meeting with your Lord. Ayat 17:12. God's talking about how the night and day are two proofs. And then God says, in everything we detail is explanation. Tafsila. Right? In everything we detail is explanation. So what does that mean? God is telling you that God's detail fusilat every tafsila. Right? Everything we detail is explanation. So there's nothing else you need except the reading, except the Quran. Okay. In Ayah 24:18, God is admonishing those who trust. Then God says, and God makes clear to you the proofs, and God is knowing, wise. Ayat 24:58. God's talking about times of privacy. Then God says, like that, God makes clear to you the proof. God is knowing, wise. Then in Ayat 24:59, it keeps going on, but with kids that reach puberty. Then God says, like that, God makes clear to you the proofs. God is knowing, wise. God is making it clear. He's clarifying it. Everything is obvious now to them. Mubeen means to be clear, to be obvious, pretty much. To get clarity. Okay, Ayat 24:61. God is talking about people eating together. And then God says, like that, God makes clear to you the proofs, perhaps you might reason. He's all these words, reason, knowing, understanding, all these words being used. Why? Because they don't need nothing else. Okay, dokie. Where we at? Oh, okay. Ayat 41:3. A law, its proofs are detailed in Arabic reading for a people who know. Qawm, for a people who know. Okay, then in ayah 57:17, God is talking about how to give life to the dead land. Then God says, we make clear the proofs to you. Perhaps you might reason. And this, in ayah 62:2, it says, it is the one who raised up regarding the ummeeyeen a messenger from them. And it goes on about making them better, making them know the law and the hikmah and the wisdom, and before that there was an obvious error. So the qawm who is being talked about is the ummeeyeen, right? And one thing, a lot of people who only follow the Quran, they use this ayat, the ayat where Allah says, and the messenger would say, my people have abandoned this Quran or whatever, and they use that in reference to the Sunnis and Shiite, and that's incorrect because they are not from the ummeeyeen. Sorry. That only applies to the qawm of the Prophet, the ummeeyeen. But those are the ayahs I found where God is talking about how God details the proof for the people, make clear the proof for the people so they could understand and they know and maybe they reflect. So this is the evidence that all you need, and that all that Muhammad and those who follow him follow was the reading. Because the reading actually confirms the Torah and the Gospels. So the readings actually uphold it. All that stuff is being upheld in the reading. You know? Peace.